Good evening, good hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Thanks to everyone who's turned up. Glad to have you all along. So tonight's going to be a bit of a chill stream. I'm on the Discord server as normal, so people might hop in, but at the moment it's just me. So I'm here by myself. And today I'm going to be doing a quick warm-up drawing, and then I'm actually going to be doing the line art and maybe some colour for the warm-up sketches that I did last week, since I received a couple of donations on those to colour them and do some line art and stuff. So I'm going to do those quickly today, and then I'm going to carry on with work on a commission. A few things to address before I start. I am now a Twitch affiliate, which is pretty awesome. So people can now subscribe to my channel. I think people can get points. There's custom emotes as well, which at some point during the stream I will be designing on the stream itself, so people can have a say in what they want me to put. For now, I've got a few placeholder pieces from previous drawings, but I want to do something a bit more custom for the Twitch audience. So I'll probably set a date to do that. It might potentially be on Monday, or it might also be, which is leading me on to my next topic. Because I'm now a Twitch affiliate, I feel like I should probably put more focus onto streaming on Twitch. So my old Sunday streams where I was drawing not safe for work art over on Picato, I've decided to change that, and instead Sunday is just going to be another furry art stream. So more art on Twitch, which is pretty awesome. I will say that it's not set in stone as to what I stream on Sundays. For now it's art, but if people decide that they prefer to see me play more video games on Twitch, then I can always do that on a Sunday instead. So let me know your thoughts on that. For now, I think I'm about ready to get started. And I've got to do a quick thing actually. I've got to swap out the page graphics for this, because I had a few comments about how the background's a bit intense for some people. So I have recently designed a night mode version. So just let me load that up real quick. Sit tight, everyone. As much as I like my bright colours, I know that some people like to sit in a dark room, have low lighting, and sometimes bright colours can be a bit blinding for some people. So I've listened to the requests and I've addressed that. So let me grab that real quick. It's still a very similar aesthetic, but it's a little bit different. There we go, it's taking over everything. Then move that out the way of everything else. So there we go, we now have night mode, dark mode. How awesome is that? Actually, I'm going to swap that for a slightly different one. Use that one. There you go. Woo. Okay, it looks pretty cool. And hopefully a little bit easier on the eyes for some people. I still need to play around with the overall layout and stuff. I do think my drawing sort of section is a bit small. But I'll have a play around with that at some point. But for now, this seems to work quite nicely. So, I think with that, I'm about ready to get started. I will just drop a quick message on my Discord server as well. Yeah, what do I feel like drawing today? I mean, I'm still in a bit of a Sonic mood myself. I'm not sure if that's what other people want to see, but I kind of do want to draw more Sonic stuff, so I might just draw a quick little piece of fan art. How about I draw tails? I've not drawn tails in a while. It's a bit of a bright colour. Let's make that smaller. That works. Let me find a quick reference to use for tails. Question is, do I draw him in classic style or do I draw him in modern style? I might draw classic style tails actually. It's been a long time since I've drawn like retro tails. It's not really changed too much other than that he's more yellowy than orange, but let me see what I can do. So that's how I base it more on his Sonic Mania design. So I like the art for Sonic Mania. Get the picture of a choking on a chili dog, sure. No, we won't go with that just yet. I really like that picture actually, let's go for that. Also, yeah, if people want to ask me any questions while I'm drawing, whether that be about art or about the day in general, or just, you know, ask away, feel free to talk about anything. I really don't mind. I'm happy to, as long as it's within reason, I'm happy to answer any questions. This will just be a very rough sketch. So I'm just drawing in the shapes as normal. Nothing too fancy yet. Tails isn't too tricky to draw, thankfully. Not for me, anyway. It's probably a bit arrogant for me to say that, given that, you know, not everyone can draw. When you break things down to shapes, it makes it a bit easier to manage. I do like me some classic style tails. That's adorable. I like that. So, I hope everyone's keeping safe. I always ask that every stream, just to make sure everyone's doing alright. I'm doing okay for the most part. I sort of hit peaks and troughs in my mental health. Yeah, it's a difficult time that we're all going through at the moment, and the best times I struggle with mental health, so when things are actually going a bit crazy, it kind of does make it hard to cope sometimes, but I'm doing okay. I'm in a good place. I think the stream's starting to do quite well. It's sort of helping. If anything, streaming's given me a good outlet for just getting to speak to people, hang out a little bit. Just drawing Tails' head a little bit bigger. Yeah, I've hit some low points, but I'm doing alright. You know, I'm still here, and that's, you know, something I need to be thankful for, because not everyone's been even that fortunate with everything going on at the moment. So sometimes you just got to be thankful that you still exist, you're still here, people still care about you. Sometimes it's easy to forget that when you get sort of lost in your own thoughts. I've got a few days off work coming up that I'm looking forward to, so that'll be a nice break from work. It's like I don't really have to go into an office anymore, but I still feel obliged to work when I'm at home, so if I can have some time off where I'm not having to do my normal day job, that's pretty good to me. You know, I'm not planning to do any travelling anytime soon, so I'm not saving my holiday dates for anything else. So I might as well just use it to have some me time. I think Rusty's got some time off coming up as well around the same sort of time, so I think we're gonna use that time to try and decorate our house a bit more, because we've been in this house for quite a while, and we've been meaning to decorate a bit more, do some renovations and stuff, put our own little stamp on things, but sometimes we forget, or sometimes things just catches up and we get too busy, or sometimes we just generally can't be arsed. You know, there's no way to dance around that. It is a precious boy, Tess. I mean, there's a precious boy in the chat as well, so it's fitting. I'm drawing a precious tailsy boy at the moment. Yeah, so we're planning to do some home decorating during our time off. So it is something we keep putting off. We want to put our own little stamp on this place, you know, make it a little bit different to how it was when we bought it. We've done little bits here and there. I've painted the room that I'm in at the moment, which is my office. I've painted that sort of during the first lockdown of last year. So we're doing little bits here and there. It's definitely not an overnight job, but we do sort of slack a little bit as well. There's no dancing around that. I think we were planning to do more, and then everything kicked off, and it's just kind of been like, ugh. Anytime we have to kind of switch off, we'd rather spend it doing something that we actually want to be doing. And yes, hello Tess, welcome to the stream. I hope you're well. I'm doing better myself. You know, we've hit some low points here and there, but I'm getting through it. I'm doing a lot better now. The Twitch affiliate stuff was exciting news. Yeah, I've been sort of streaming on and off for a long time. It's nice to finally sort of be getting somewhere with it. I think the consistency with streams has been the key part. It's been hard to sort of find a schedule that works, but I think while I'm in lockdown, it's like, well, I've got nothing else to do, so I might as well hang out with people on the internet and share my art process. Yeah, I found that. I mean, I've been trying for years to get into streaming, and previous times I used to just do it when I felt like it. There's no real schedule to it. And I think the problem there was like, well, it was good for me because I could do it when I felt like it. There were times when I didn't feel like it a lot of the time, and also people just did not know how to keep up with me and my streams. Yeah, people have lives as well. It's easy to forget that sometimes. But yeah, I think just while I've been in lockdown, it's like, well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, so I might as well try a few streams, see if I can get back into a groove, and find a schedule that's worked so far. I think the other issue is like when I was streaming back in the day, I was spending more time gaming than drawing art. but I was getting burnt out of gaming quite fast. So I think I've got a good balance now where I can mostly focus on art, but maybe have like a day once a week where I do a bit more gaming. So that's a sort of a nice balance that I've found. The other issue is obviously when we could actually see people. Sometimes I was going out rather than staying at home, so I wasn't always here to stream in the evenings. I prefer streaming in the evenings rather than the mornings. I did consider streaming like after work sort of time, so sort of about 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that, but I find I generally, when I finish work, especially while I'm working from home, I prefer to just generally get away from the computer after I finish the day at work, because I'm already at my desk all day, so it's like I like to kind of have a change of scenery. I'm also planning to get something set up so I can do some traditional art. I was actually going to do that today, but I ended up putting it off because I've got a bit of work to catch up on with my art stuff. So I'd like to make a start on this stuff first, and then we could do some pretty marker pen drawings or colour pencil drawings another time. That's what I'd like to do. This is looking absolutely adorable at the moment. I'm really happy with this. I do like me some Sanics. So Sonic art was what got me started, and I think I've said that before, but it always bears repeating. And I come back to it every now and then. But yeah, when I first started doing digital art, like as a serious thing, the thing I used to draw a lot was Sonic fan art. And so every now and then, when I'm feeling a bit nostalgic, I'll come back to it and I'll draw some Sonic fan art. And it just kind of takes me back and reminds me that I've come a long way since drawing this stuff. I think I'm gonna go for that. We'll refine that sketch a little bit. I mean, Sonic fan art's a good place to start because a lot of it is mostly just learning how to use circles. I mean, literally, Tails' head is, like, the base of it is a circle and another circle with some sticks. That's kind of the frame that I use to make Tails. Obviously, I've learned how to stylize it a bit more, but the basics are circles. I think learning how to sort of apply shapes to things is a good place to start for learning to draw. I mean, if you keep watching the streams and stuff, I'll try and sort of talk through my process, and hopefully people watching can take something away from it. You know, I always encourage people to give it a try. I know it's like quite daunting, but yeah, I didn't always draw like this. I've got some shocking art out there, which I will probably show off at some point. There is also my YouTube channel, which has my sketchbook tours, going back to like the really old sketchbooks that I did back in the day when I was a beginner. So I did like flick throughs of all my old sketchbooks, and some of the really old art is pretty awful, but it's where I started, and it's just a nice reminder that keep pushing into something and something you're interested in, and you can make it. And I've still got a long way to go. But yeah, I think lockdown sort of given me a good opportunity to kind of ground myself a bit and actually try and practice some stuff. So yeah, I've been on a big Sonic Shook. Hello, Shook. And yes, it's a Tailsy boy. I've been on a bit of a Sonic kick as of late. I don't really know when to set it off, to be honest. I think my partner buying me a Sega Mega Drive for Christmas kind of set it off a little bit. So Rusty, if you're listening, it's kind of your fault. Just saying. And so yeah, I've kind of been reliving my past life in the 90s. So I've been watching things like the old Sonic OVA, which is probably one of the best animated things of Sonic ever, and I didn't even realise it at the time. But like, as far as 90s Sonic goes, that's kind of a good portrayal of him, I think, is that old Sonic OVA that they turned into a movie. And I'll tell you, one of the only films I saw in the cinema last year was the Sonic movie, the live action CG one. So yeah, it's probably one of the few things imprinted in my memories from last year. That movie was pretty decent as far as like trashy live action sort of gritty representations of an old franchise goes. The Sonic movie is actually probably one of the decent ones. I still haven't seen Detective Pikachu actually. I kind of do want to see that just to see if it is as much of a train wreck as people say, or whether I'd enjoy it more because I am a Pokemon fan. Because most people I've heard critique from about that film have been people that kind of grew up with Pokemon but kind of moved on from it after a while. So yeah, I do want to see that for myself at some point. Well, I mean, you could argue, is the Sonic movie anything like the actual games? And not really, but they had some nice references to the games. It's sad to say, but I think the only Sonic animated thing I can recall that has any sort of throwback, like direct references to its games has been bloody Sonic X. Like, it's the only one that I can recall that has a game adaptation in its animated like version. Nearly every other Sonic thing I've watched kind of had its own sort of canon, its own universe, its own take on things. There's not much that I can recall from like the old Sonic stuff that had any game representation. Even the Sonic OVA, like there's a section where he's like jumping on springs and like actually, does he even use rings? I don't think he even uses rings in the Sonic OVA. But like, yeah, he's like jumping on springs, he's killing bad guys, and they turn into animals and stuff. So that's like the only other thing I've seen that has any sort of reference to its games. Sonic is a wild franchise, isn't it? Like, it's the one fan base I know that is as dedicated as it is, even after all these years. Oh yeah, I would never want to see like a carbon copy of the games. But I like it when shows kind of do like an adaptation of the games. Like they already have their own little canon, but the games kind of fit around it. Like kind of what they do with the comics. Like, I haven't read any of the new comics, and because I didn't grow up in the States, I only read a small portion of the Archie comics. But, like, the Archie comics and the British Fleetway comics, like, had their own little characters, and their own, like characterizations of each character, even like Sonic and Tails. But, like, they'd introduce the games into their canon, but the characters would react in the way that they made the characters in like the previous iterations of the comic, which I always think is interesting. I like it when like people have a bit of artistic liberty, but they can kind of base it on its source material. So when I was younger, so Fleetway has a bit of a history in that like they were doing really well at one point, and then I think Fleetway was starting to run out of money, and it got to a point where they were like reprinting arcs of previous stories, and only doing like new Sonic stories. Because they used to do like a story that focused on Sonic, a story that focused on like another character, sometimes stories that focus on other Sega franchises. And at one point they were focusing less on doing other stories for other characters or other Sega franchises, instead just doing new Sonic stories instead, and then just reprinting the old stuff. And I think that was the point where I got into it. So I was already kind of reading it when the ship was sinking, essentially. Oh my god. Thing is, I never played Billy Hatcher because as much as I wanted a Dreamcast when they were out, I think it's a Dreamcast game, it's not GameCube. I never got to play it. Never had a Dreamcast. So I didn't grow up with this nostalgia as a GameCube. I mean, okay, I had a GameCube, but that game passed me by. So, yeah. I never grew up with a Dreamcast. I never basked in the nostalgia of Sonic Adventure. I actually kind of think Sonic Adventure is pretty awful. But the only iterations of it that I've played have been the remakes for GameCube and the PC remake of Adventure 1. And I just don't connect with those games at all. I don't have any nostalgia, so people consider it like the magnum opus of like the modern era of Sonic, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I can see that it would have been good for its time, but it has not aged very well at all. I'll always go back to Sonic 3 as being my favourite. I think it felt like an epic adventure. The fact that it like, and maybe it's just me like, I mean it's complete nostalgia goggles. It's no different to like people finding nostalgia in Sonic Adventure, but I liked the fact that like you had like a standard Sonic game with when it was on its own cartridge, but then when you plug in Sonic 3 into Sonic and Knuckles, you have this like complete story. I love that so much when I was younger, and it still just resonates with me to the point where at some point during my gaming streams, probably more towards when I've actually finished my Zelda randomizer, because that's still going, I'm hopefully not too lost in that at the moment. I'm planning to actually play a game of Sonic 3. I'm going to do Sonic 3 Knuckles Angel Island Remastered, I think it's called. It's like a mod for the Steam version that kind of has some like quality of life things, so it like you can choose which levels have aspects of Sonic 3, which levels have aspects of Sonic and Knuckles. You can customize the soundtrack. What else? You can choose whether... Oh, thank you, Shu. Thanks for stopping by. And I will absolutely be sharing this. I'll post it in the Discord chat. And I'll also post it on Twitter and stuff, because I tend to share my sketches when I finish them. But yeah, thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed your stay. But yeah, Sonic 3 and K. So yeah, I'm doing Angel Island Remastered. I'm going to... So yeah, it has a few quality of life. Things like you can turn off the supersonic music. So even when you have all the Chaos Emeralds and stuff, you can still listen to the level music instead of just the repetitive invincibility music. So that's handy. I think there's also like beta soundtracks as well that you can choose to play instead of the original soundtrack. Although I'm not quite as familiar with the beta soundtrack, so that might be a hard thing to let go. And I think also you can choose I think you can toggle supersonic as well. So you don't have to be super all the time, you don't have to drain your rings constantly. Once you enable it, you can toggle it between being on and off. See, I played a little bit of Sonic 2 beta, but that was like back when it was kind of a meme. Like it was like talked about on YouTube a lot, and then eventually I discovered emulators, because that was like an unheard of thing for me at one point. Once I discovered that, I was like, oh, I could try the beta now. And it was weird, like, so bizarre. Like, the Hidden Palace Zone, like, what the fuck was that about? And they brought that, they introduced the Hidden Palace Zone in the Sonic 2 iOS and Android ports. I think if you fall down that pit in Mystic Cave, that would usually get you trapped or you die. It's just that spike pit. I think it turned out to be a hidden passage for the Hidden Palace Zone. I think you could go there as Knuckles. So yeah, I can't say I have any nostalgia for the Sonic 2 beta. So I can't really say I miss anything about it. It's just it was an interesting experience, and I like that time of like when ROM hacks were new and like finding betas of old games was like so like unheard of. It was really exciting. I mean, recently the Sonic 1 prototype got released, and I think Hidden Palace, the YouTube channel, were doing a little run through of it. And it's interesting to see like the beginning of Sonic, essentially, like the things they were planning to do, they didn't go ahead with, and some of the things that they had planned were pretty much set in stone. Like the game's pretty similar. It's just there's a few changes, like the backgrounds are slightly different to some levels. There's like obstacles in some levels. The layouts are slightly different. It's like sprite moves a little bit differently. The soundtrack's not quite the same. Like the songs are the same, but like the instruments, the sound effects that they use are slightly different. Like they haven't got the famous like clapping snare drum sound at that point. It's so interesting to see how it all sort of came together. I love stuff like that. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about Sonic. And it's kind of come back, well, like I've been reliving this weird nostalgia that I have. It's also fitting because this year's the I think it's the 30th anniversary. Like June this year will be the 30th anniversary. I think it was about 10 years ago when Sonic Generations was announced, and I attended the Summer Sonic convention back when that was still a thing. And that was like the first convention I'd ever attended ever. And I was a complete dweeb. I was antisocial, didn't know how to talk to anyone, hadn't been to London since I was a child, which is where the convention was being held. And there is a video out there that I made from years ago where I vlogged the whole thing, and I had no charisma whatsoever. I was a nervous wreck. I could barely hold the camera still. I could barely focus the camera, and I didn't know how to edit at all. It was a mess, but I still find myself occasionally going back and watching that video, just because it's kind of where things started. Like, the people that are in that video that I was hanging out with, I'm not even really particularly close friends with them anymore. We've talked in years. But that does not put me off from watching it, because it started so much for me in that it got me started going to conventions more, and eventually years later going to my first furry convention, and that just set in stone how much I enjoyed conventions, especially when I got into the furry stuff. When I started going to furry cons especially, that's when things changed, because then I started going to fur meets, and then I started meeting friends and having real life furry friends, and then I met Rusty through one of the conventions, Confuzzled 2016 I think it was, and that was just the start of so much, because now we live together. So I kind of look back at that first little convention that I did in 2011. It's the Summer Sonic for Sonic's 20th anniversary. And I just think of how that started so much. And sometimes I forget that. Oh, when conventions are back on, I'd highly recommend it. Especially if you could get the chance to go to Confuzzled. Confuzzled is amazing. Like, it can be daunting because it's so big, but I think even though it's so big, it's still so welcoming. Like, I attended not knowing anyone, and that first year I came away with a little group of friends, and that to me is amazing that it can happen so quickly. And there's like events especially for like people who are new as well, so you will most likely come away with a group of friends. Besides, I think Jay's planning to attend one year, so we'll have to bully him into coming. And that'd be more reason to come to the convention. I mean, fur meets are a good thing to tide over as well. Like, they're not as good. They'll never be as good, but they are a sort of happy medium for just seeing your friends in the fandom for a weekend. There's always an excuse to like go to a friend's house, have a little bit of a sleepover, have a drink, or go out for a meal. Obviously, less of that's happening at the moment, but when those are back on, I will be like looking to go to some fair meets. Obviously, when things are a bit safer, I'm hoping that my regular fair meets aren't going to jump the gun, get too excited, and like open up too soon, because I won't be going to those. But when things are like a bit more chill, I definitely want to start going back to fair meets and stuff. I also want to get back into climbing, because I do a lot of rock climbing, and our local climbing wall actually closed. We do a lot of indoor stuff. That closed recently, but also I was doing like little meetups and stuff with friends that I'd organise. So I want to get back into those again. I managed to get one in last year, and then I was climbing pretty much every week until the climb wall was shut. And that was a sad time. But yeah, I want to get back into that. I want to do some more outdoor climbing at some point. We dabbled in that last year, and it was great fun. I think Tailsy Boy is pretty much finished. I'll give him a little shadow. Just round him a little bit. There you go. There he is. Tailsy Boy. What's today's date? The 20th. And I'll always write it in the British style, because we have a bit of British representation. I'm sure you understand, Tess. I'm not going to Americanise myself just for the sake of some people that can't bother to look stuff up. I remember people used to like, there used to be a weird stigma about pricing my commissions in pounds instead of dollars, because there was a period where no matter where you were in the fandom, people just generally did their prices in dollars. I just thought, well, hang on a minute, when I'm commissioning artists from the States, literally all I'm doing is going onto Google, putting their prices into a currency converter, and then it kind of gives you a rough idea of how much it's going to cost. So if I can do that, why can't people do that when they're commissioning me? So I just thought, yeah, I'll do mine in pounds then. I used to do it in both. I used to have two commission sheets, one in pounds, one in dollars, but like it was hard to keep track of, and like if people would commission me, I wouldn't always know whether they were British or American, so I didn't know which one to send them. So eventually I was just like, this is more effort than it's worth, so I'll just stick to having the one in pounds. And I've never really looked back. I still get frequent commissions from people all over the world, because people seem to be smart enough to be able to convert the prices in the same way that I did. So I'm going to cough. Bear with me a second. I'm a bit chesty today. I'm hoping it's not COVID. I don't think it is because it's not affecting my breathing. I've not got a fever and I've got sense of smell and sense of taste and all that. And I'm not really going out at the moment, so... Besides, Rusty's getting regular testing, so if anything comes up, then I will know, and then I'll probably get myself tested if anything comes up with her. What am I doing? I'm going to save this. Tailsy boy, I'll call it. Hey! Well, Tails is always good taste. I also like that this is based on the reference, but it's different enough to kind of be my own thing. This is what art style's all about. It's all about those lazy tendencies that turn my art piece into, or turns one art piece into another. I don't even know if this is like official art or whether this is actually like fan art. I should probably check just to make sure I'm like giving a reference. I mean, it's from this Pinterest page. I don't know whether that's fan art, whether that's someone sharing some official art. There's some more fan art there. Gotta be careful. I was worried that there might be like not safe for work stuff, but I don't think you can get that on Pinterest. Also, I do have a Pinterest, but I have not used it in a long time. Like, here's some examples of my old art. I think the last time I updated this was like 2016, 2017, something like that. Damn. Yeah, I did not try with Pinterest. Yeah, I've got notifications. Oh, it's just other people's stuff. Okay. Pinterest is one of those things that I don't understand, and not many people in the fandom seem to even bother with it, so I just never bothered with it. So that's Tails. I am going to export this as well, actually, while I'm here. Not free transform. Have everything at 1080p. The only reason to do this is just to make it smaller so it's a bit easier to upload. Like, my default canvas size is like an A4, it's an A4 sheet of paper at like a print friendly resolution. But then I reduced it down to a web-friendly size. I think, like, social media is something that I still think even people with a good grasp of like how the internet works and stuff still don't really understand social media. It's just an ever-changing thing, and yes, that's your commission. I'll be working on that later. However, I'm actually going to start doing the line art for this. I'm going to kind of rotate around a little bit between all the different ones. And Prongles is still here as well. He's there on somebody else's thing that I need to colour in. Fun times. Right, so yeah, I'm going to do some line art today. Yay! So I'll probably do a new folder just so I don't get stuff mixed up. I should do ink. But no, not oops. That's because my keyboard's off to one side, so like my typing position is a bit off. Oops. Oh, I'm not at all. I've had a plan for tonight, so it's kind of setting out to start on your things anyway. pretty chill tonight. I hope same goes for you. Also, I hope you like the new dark layout as well. I was saying before, I was getting feedback saying that my thing was a bit bright for people, so we've got like a dark, sort of easier on the eyes version. What the hell's going on here? By feedback, I mean it was mostly Tico moaning, but then I did think like most people do like to kind of have low lighting and stuff when they're using their computers, which is bad for your eyes, and you shouldn't do that. However, I'm not going to dictate what you do with your time when you're using a computer. I personally like to sit in a nice room with a lamp, but some people like to be in complete darkness when they use a computer. So I can understand that like having a bright white background is probably a bit much for some people. Saying that, I'm now drawing on a white canvas, so maybe that doesn't kind of help either. Although I do usually colour my canvases sometimes, so it's a bit easier on the eyes. I just forget sometimes. It's doing that. It's done that before. Why is it? What setting have I changed on this for it to do that? It seemed like this weird, like, it's kind of like guessing where I want the lines to go. That's not what I'm trying to do. I've enabled something and I don't know what it is. Nope, it's not that. Like, it's doing this weird, like, jaggedy line thing, which is kind of helpful, but it's kind of making it a bit too wiggly. Like, why are you doing that? Eraser settings, vector eraser. That might be why. That's better. I don't remember enabling that, so that's just kind of done it on its own. Weird software. Clip's never been that moody to me before. I used to use Paint Tool Slide, that was always a bitch to work with. My probably didn't help that I was using a not entirely free version. What? Think like on the subject of franchises that I used to do. Let's say about doing crimes. What do they say about doing crimes? You about to quote Greg from Night in the Woods. I'm always committing gay crimes. Horny crimes. That will do it for the snoz. The big booper. And that works quite nicely. I'm happy with that. Must admit, doing line art always seems like the part that's the most daunting, but I always find it's the part that's the easiest once I get started. Because, like, I'm not really drawing anything, I'm just following a path that I've already kind of laid out for myself. It's just time consuming, is the only part. But every time I do it, I find it quite therapeutic. It's something I can just kind of switch off and do. I don't have to think about it too much. Like, sketching out the body is the hard part. This is just tidying it up. Line art or lion art? I mean, is it not just both at this point? Besides, if you get Rusty to say it in her Black Country accent, it sounds pretty much the same anyway. So, lion art. And if she's watching this, she's probably gonna be like, no. I'm probably gonna get told off in a minute. I mean, she can't threaten me in real life right now because she's in the bath, but she can still come on Discord and threaten me. If I disappear, I call the police. The horny police. I'm not happy with that. Okay, I found the only hard part with doing line art is doing ovals or circles. I think that works. That works. I do actually. We live in Shropshire. I'm not from that area myself, but I've lived in like the West Midlands for a while. I moved here with my parents initially, and they've since buggered off, and me and Rusty kind of settled here together. I'm originally from the Wirral, and my accent comes out every now and then where I sound like I'm from the north, but right now I actually don't have that much of an accent coming out. It's probably because I'm trying to like speak clearly, so I'm putting on a slightly more proper voice. Yeah, I like it around here. It's pretty chill. I don't have any like emotional ties to this place just because I don't really have any like childhood memories or anything like that. But as far as like living in a peaceful area goes, it ticks the boxes. And you know, me and Rusty are making memories ourselves while we're living together. So you know, it's quite nice. Go for that, I think. See, when I get worked up, or I'm kind of like being sarky, I find my accent comes out quite a bit. Like it's still there, but the only time it comes out in full force is when I'm around my family. It's just like something about being around them just brings it out of me. I think that's the same for anyone with who's sort of been born with a family in like with a regional accent. Best person I think of in that example is John Barrowman, who's as Scottish as they come, but generally talks with an American accent, except for when he talks to his parents. I've seen him in interviews where his parents are actually there, and he quickly like sort of mutters something to them, and there's no trace of like an American accent at all. I think it's to do with the fact that I think he lived in America and just decided to put an accent on just to have people leave them alone. To be honest, I'm less bothered about that sort of stuff. Like, I lived in the Channel Islands at one point, and as soon as I opened my mouth, people, like, I was only a teenager. I actually was barely a teenager. I was like first year of secondary school, and I just moved to the Channel Islands, Jersey to be specific. And yeah, as soon as I opened my mouth, this like kind of accent comes out, and as soon as people like heard that like pitch, they were just like, "Oh my god!" and it was game over. Like, looking back, it's kind of funny, but at the time, when you're a young lad who's kind of shy in a new place, you're not ready for like people to start taking the piss out of you like that. I think now that I'm older, I generally don't care, and like, especially now that I'm older, if I were to go to America and start talking a British accent, people kind of find it hot, so I'll just embrace it at this point. I mean, I don't particularly find my accent hot, but if that's what gets people's rocks off, then that's fair enough. I ain't gonna judge them. If anything, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I mean, I'm in the mindset that generally everyone has some sort of accent. It just doesn't sound like an accent to people, because if it lives somewhere all their life, then that's just their normal voice, and that's just how everyone else sounds to them. Like, you say you don't have an accent, but if you went anywhere else, you'd be classed as having a British accent, so in a way, you still have an accent. That's my philosophy anyway. The thing that made me laugh was one of my friends whose mum was as London as you can get, like proper East London, like proper Cockney like. And I remember just having a casual chat, and she was like, "Oh, I don't really have an accent." I'm thinking, did you just hear yourself? Bear in mind, she was living in Telford at the time, so it's like, people don't talk like that around here. So you definitely have an accent. Again, I think it's just, if that's all you've known all your life, then to yourself you wouldn't have an accent. Yeah. Oh, you want the proper little hello, welcome to the BBC. Oh, if I had a microphone filter, do like the fuzz filter and be like, "Hello, welcome to the BBC News. I am posh BBC man. I'm very well spoken, very well trained. Hello, what?" Is that why we have that stereotype? It's because everyone's like, anyone from any other countries all just heard like BBC broadcasts before, and just be like, "Oh, that's how everyone speaks." I mean, my accent these days is, like, generally right now I sound quite well spoken, again, just because I'm broadcasting, and I'm calm, I'm not, like, worked up or trying to, like, put on a performance right now. But, yeah, when I get going, my accent's either full on, like, Wirral, fake Scouse accent, or it's just a mess of, like, Midlands, bit of Scouse. Just all sorts. I've moved around that much that like my accent's just kind of merged with so many different like regions. especially in the Channel Islands. That southerned me up at one point. It's alright, you sound a bit like my friend Note, who is from Sheffield. Born and raised Sheffield, never really lived anywhere else. Yet they sound... There's not much of a trace of any sort of northernness from them at all. They sound very well spoken for someone who lives in Sheffield. And I've heard the Sheffield accent. That's generally not the kind of sound that comes out of someone's mouth. So how they've ended up like that, I don't know. But fair play. And I love them to bits, even though they drive me mad sometimes. If you're listening, I love you, but you're a bitch. I'm gonna get in trouble. Nah, they're fine. Note's a laugh. Much love to you, Note. This is looking pretty good so far. Alright, I'm gonna preserve your head. Preserve the head. And I'm gonna draw the body on a separate layer. I'm gonna kind of merge stuff together. In fact, I've forgotten your ears. Stop it. Let's try that again. There you go. Draw your ears first. Also draw that one overlapping as well. That works. The good thing about digital drawing, you can kind of use layers to sort of hide and then show certain things, like draw something out and then delete it afterwards, so it just connects a bit better. It's funny actually, I talk about line art being therapeutic when doing this. It's kind of the opposite when it comes to traditional art, because there's a bit more of a risk of fucking up. Like, it's fun for that reason, and it looks more organic when it is a bit messy or when there is a slight mistake, and it's on you as a creative person to like find a way to correct that mistake or kind of disguise it as like a style choice. Like if I make a line too thick or I accidentally draw over a line, I just kind of thicken it up to kind of make it look like it was intentional. So that can be fun in its own way, but it can be even more stressful when like you've got a masterpiece and then you draw one wrong line and then that's it, and game over. Well, that kind of comes with the territory. I kind of do that like thickening up technique with digital as well. Sometimes when I can't bother to erase like a tiny little line, I'll just thicken it up instead. And it kind of looks like an intentional style choice. At least that's the way I choose to spin it. Like here, I'll erase this. something my line art is dummy thick. Well, that's the case, it's saving lives, because we all know about thick thighs. That'll do for now. I'll draw the other one. Talk about accents. There's a bit of northernness for you. I mean, I kind of say that like slightly ironically, but I kind of like saying it anyway, so. Sometimes I'll unironically say Tinternet. Just because it's kind of fun to say, it sounds fun. Also, when I play games with like story-based games that have dialogue without voice acting, and how people are generally inclined to like do voice acting themselves, I used to try and do like the fake American accent, like a lot of people do. However, whenever I play those games nowadays, I tend to read the voices out in various different British accents, just because I think it's something different. People generally don't do that, so if maybe one day I say, hypothetically, we're to play a Persona game, because I do want to do that at some point, maybe. I haven't decided which game. It's not going to be 5, because I don't have the means to play that. It'll probably be Persona 4 Golden at some point. I may very well do the voices in various British accents, because I think that would be fun. And I'm better at like doing British accents than I am at doing American ones anyway. I can do the like over enthusiastic like Sonic the Hedgehog stuff where it's like, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, but like generally I'm not that great at doing an American accent. So I'd rather do various different British accents instead, because I think that'd be more fun, more creative. Right, you're out, love. From top north. I'm gonna catch up Persona. I'm gonna catch Pokemon. I'll just do everything as a scouser. Just the Pokemon trainer going around going, alright, calm down, don't want a Pokemon fight over this. Calm down, Lee. Hey, calm down. So much for that chill stream, eh? Now I'm just screaming in Scouts. Calm down, Lee. You're fucking starting a Pokemon battle. I like the sound of that. Hello, I'm David Mitchell. I'm just thinking of Peep Show. Then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like, I like you. I've only seen little bits of that show. Rusty's a big fan of it. But I did like what I did see of it. The only problem is I love it, but I struggle with awkward humour. Like, it's probably one of the best forms of comedy, but it's one of the hardest to watch, I find. Like, I love, Hello, I'm Alan Partridge, but oh my god, it's so hard to watch. Same with like The Office as well. Like the British Office is so beautiful with its awkward humour, but I cannot handle it at all. It makes me so uncomfortable. It definitely is. Like, I'm not saying I don't like it. I actually kind of think that only the British pull off awkward humour as well as we do, especially in sitcoms. Like, I noticed in like the American Office, they tried to. I think was it the first season they tried to go for the awkward humour and it didn't really work, and then they kind of went on a sort of life of their own. It definitely has its own style that works for them, but I don't think it would work in the UK because it'd be too goofy. I'll say I do like myself some British sitcoms though. So I do a lot of other people. Like, I remember when my friends from the States came over. Hello, Tundra and Zero, if you're watching. And they specifically requested to stick on some British sitcoms. We just basically had a day of like an evening of just educating them on like the history of British sitcoms. We watched all sorts. We watched things like Red Dwarf. We watched Father Ted. We watched I know Father Ted's technically Irish rather than British, but same caliber. I think we watched The IT Crowd. We watched Fawlty Towers. They definitely struggled with Fawlty Towers, or at least one of them did, because it was so again awkward and cringe, like situations that just would make anyone uncomfortable, and my friend just could not handle it. I think because I'd seen it before, Fawlty Towers kind of desensitizes me a little bit. Oh, I do like Not Going Out actually. I think Lee Mack is brilliant at that sort of sarcastic, quick one-liner sort of humour. Like it's less awkward silence like The Office or Peep Show or Alan Partridge. It's more just like, I suppose it's more relatable humour because it's that kind of same sarcastic response that I think a lot of people would have these days. You know, and yet all these people that he sort of interacts with obviously don't see the funny side of it. Trying to think what other sitcoms do I like. I really liked one of my favourites was Hello Hello. So set in like the French occupation during the Second World War, and it is so ridiculous, and they definitely get into some very like terrible situations. But oh my god, is it so like clever? They just found a good way of sort of taking a shit situation in history and putting a more sort of a more interesting spin on it, or a funny spin on it without being disrespectful, I thought. It's so good. Oh really? See, I kind of prefer older sitcoms. I especially like stuff from the 70s because they don't pull any punches with a lot of their humour. And I know that's kind of bad in some ways because sometimes they say pretty awful things in like older sitcoms. But I also find they don't shy away from like sexual humour or slightly edgy humour. And I find the situations just get ridiculous in things like Hello Hello and Fawlty Towers and stuff. It snowed. Oh, Rusty just told me it snowed. Is it like proper snowed? Oh, it has. Oh, wow. That was sudden. Yeah, it snowed apparently. It's there's a white sheet of snow just across the lawn and the decking and stuff.
Do you want a drink?
Yeah, I'd love one.
What do you want?
Could I have juice? But also could I have a yogurt? Look, you offered to get me stuff. Well, I've extended the offer. Isn't she a good one? I think I'm mostly done the line out of this now. I just need to check and see if I've got any details on the suit. Because it's important to have a nice tailored suit. Obviously I'll tidy it up a little bit. More of it that way. Go for more of a less is more kind of approach with this. Because this is only like line art and flat colour. Yeah, one of my favourites is also IT Crowd. From the same writer as Father Ted, actually. It's a brilliant sort of commentary on nerdy, geeky humour, but also like the stereotypical British office in like the mid-2000s. Including like the weird office politics that you get sometimes. Obviously not quite as office politics based as The Office, but it still has its own take on like the British office. Yeah, I've heard about that with the guy who wrote them. He's quite transphobic, isn't he? Quite racist, from what I've heard. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. Okie doke. Thank you for the strawberry.
Made in Telford.
What?
It's made in Telford.
Oh, it is. Thanks, hon. My baby got me a strawberry yogurt from Lidl. No. I'm being absconded, help me. Hello. How's it going?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I like Tess's top hat.
Yeah. I think I made it bigger in this one.
Make it bigger.
I think it increases in size with each picture that I draw, because I think it's bigger in this one as well.
Make it even bigger.
Yeah.
It needs to be like stupid.
Next time he commissions me, it'll just be like a tower.
Yeah, you don't. I don't want to see the line. I just want to see the.
It'll just be a hat with like a little tail sticking out of it. To be honest, I have the same feelings towards Harry Potter. Ever since, funny to say this, She Who Will Not Be Named, ever since she started sort of showing her true colours around transgender and stuff, making it very clear that she does not support the rights for trans people, nor does she acknowledge that they really, truly exist, which is awful. Of course they do. Ever since all that's come out, it's just completely killed any sort of nostalgia or interest that I had in those old... I was about to say those old movies. I should say the old books. I never actually read the books. I read the first two, and that was it. But like, it just killed anything, any interest in Harry Potter that I had. Because the woman behind it is just scum. I just can't. I just think like, well, yeah, same with me. I'm like 90% cisgender. There's a small part of me that occasionally likes to sort of kind of tread into the territory of being non-binary. More just in a mindset of like, fuck gender roles, there's nothing physically stopping me from like wearing something that has a more feminine sort of style to it.
Is that a smooth yogurt?
What's that?
Is that a smooth yogurt?
Yes, no, it's got fruit in it.
Okay.
I mean, it's good.
It looks like Tubby Cluster.
It does a bit. Yeah, I'm sort of like, kind of just like, I will express myself in whatever way I choose. Whether that makes me cisgender or not, I generally don't care. Yeah, sometimes I paint my nails, but I also have a beard. So, what does that make me? I don't know. Nor do I care. So yeah, I will always support trans people, of course, yeah. I live with someone who's dealing with their gender identity at the moment and sort of seeing how much it affects their mental health and how they'll have days where they're really struggling with the how comfortable they feel in their own body. It's hard to see, but I want to be there to support Rusty and be a place of comfort for her. So I couldn't even dream of like making someone's life more difficult than it already is just because they felt like they're not comfortable in their own body the way it is. Yeah. To be honest, I stopped painting my nails at one point because I was climbing a lot more. And climbing and painting your nails do not mix because those walls are very coarse and very rough, and it just completely shreds any sort of painting of the nails at all. And I of course buy cheap nail polish, so it's going to scratch off really easily. However, because the climbing wall's closed at the moment, and I'm not intending to go anywhere else at the moment, I paint my nails occasionally. My toes are still painted. My fingers need doing again at some point. Am I missing anything on the line out for this? I don't think I am. I think there's one extra button, which I will add. But that'll do. Okay, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to move on to doing the line art for this other warm-up sketch that I did last week. Not last week, Monday. But yeah, to anyone who's watching, I will support you for no matter what way you choose to express yourself. You know, I want my streams to be a place where people can come, feel safe, secure, regardless of how they identify themselves, because as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're not physically hurting people, why does it matter? As long as you're not sort of causing distress to people for no reason, why does it concern me what you do with your life? That's what bothers me, is that people are so concerned with what other people do with their lives that they forget to worry about themselves. And just, they hate themselves so much that they make other people's lives miserable. Like, how is that fair? I don't understand where all this stuff's come from J.K. Rowling. Because, like, her franchise was built up on, like, there's kids fighting against, like, an oppression of, like, older people, more powerful people. And, you know, they were outcasts, they were a bit unconventional. And, you know, the people that her books attracted were these young, very liberal, you know, creative sort of people. And it kind of feels like just out of nowhere, she's just suddenly turned her back on all these people. Like, she didn't know that was, like, her following from the beginning. It's like, well, you wrote a story like that. Of course it's going to attract those kinds of people. So, of course, people are going to assume that you were there to support them. And then to just turn around and be like, nah, fuck you. It's just kind of like, oh, fuck you too. Your books are kind of not that great. What was the deal with, like, just after writing a story, deciding afterwards with no real sort of reasoning, just going, oh yeah, that character's gay. Oh, that character's they're actually a pony. They're not a wizard. Like, sorry, sweetie. If you want to revise how a character comes across in a book, you either write a new installment that establishes this, or you in proofreading it before you publish it, you include that somewhere in the story. Don't just decide after everything's been published that X, Y, and B also happened, but there's nothing in there in the text to explain that. There's no follow-up. There's nothing. It's like, you know, you don't get a do-over unless you rewrite the whole damn thing. So yeah, that was a bit of a rant. I do apologise. I just don't get where this hatred has come from. It feels a bit unfair, I think, is why I'm a bit upset about it. It just seems like bullying. Yeah, and when was that okay? Like, if we're taught from a very young age that bullying is not okay. Yet people seem to fucking do it anyway. So I was more upset when, like, it was really kicking off. Like, I was angry. These days I'm just kind of like, what this person's doing, don't be like that. So I take comfort that I myself am not like that, and I don't intend to change my ways in being like that. Yeah. I will always try and give people a fair judgment. I just generally try not to judge people regardless. Even when someone does something that I don't necessarily agree with, I try not to, like, get caught up in, like, a big Twitter argument or whatever. I'd much rather educate someone than go on the defensive or call them out on being, like, a dick. Because I think if you're going to react aggressively to something and someone does something wrong, of course they're going to get on the defensive. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I saw you on your own, so I thought I'd join.
Oh, thank you. I was just ranting about J.K. Rowling to the stream.
Oh God, no.
I was just talking about her, like, big transphobe, like, craze that she was on at one point. And how
Such a bellend.
it just kind of killed any sort of passion that I had for the franchise. Although I kind of was over Harry Potter when the last film came out.
Oh yeah, I've been an IOM over Harry Potter. I have been for years.
Yeah. It's been and gone. It needs to die.
Yeah. The films were good, but that's about it.
It's just the 90s version of Twilight, essentially.
Yeah, no.
And then I was also saying about how, like, I always think it's better to educate someone even when they do something that I don't necessarily agree with or do something that's wrong, rather than get angry and point to them going, you did this wrong, you're an asshole. It's like, well, that's not gonna help anyone, because if you get angry with someone, they're gonna get on the defensive regardless of
exactly.
whether the rations are just or not.
Is Rusty having a quiet night? Because I don't know, she's got work, hasn't she?
I'm not sure. She's got out the bath. But yeah, she must be having a chill. Yeah, she's escaped the bath.
Wow.
She even, like, made me a drink.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I'm drawing a Beastars style bunny rabbit.
Nice.
It's one that I did last week for a viewer, and they donated to my Ko-fi, so I offered to colour it. So I'm currently just doing the line art for it.
Nice. I got a new webcam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a lot better than my built-in one.
Ooh. You gonna show it off?
Yeah, I'll show it off. HD!
Way! I mean, I put mine on, but I'm topless at the moment, so.
Nice, nice.
I got out of the bath, but the bath was too hot, so I just came out. I was like, I'm dying.
I'm a bit sick at the minute, so I've been like bed and not bed and.
I'm a bit chesty at the moment, actually.
I'm like, it was like congested, so I had like nose, and then did I tell you? I don't think I did. So I woke up. This was the other day because I've been on and off Discord, like really randomly and sporadically because I've been too sick. But like, I woke up at 5 a.m. the other morning with a headache that felt like somebody was crushing my skull. It was horrible.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't sit. I couldn't stand. The only sort of bearable kind of was me walking about. If I walked about,
sounds like a migraine more than a headache.
It was a really bad migraine. But it was all right because then I took some painkillers. I mean, granted, it still took a further 45 minutes for it to calm down.
Yeah.
Because obviously, because it being a migraine, it's going to be twice as worse as a headache. So it takes longer for it to calm down. So then eventually it calmed down. And I was able to put my head on the pillow. Yeah. And then fucking Freddie rang me at 8 o'clock and was like, "Morning." I was like, "No."
I'm dying.
Are you okay? And I was like, "No, I'm half dead."
Oh.
I was in such a bad way. I was just like, I don't feel well at all. He was like, all right then. I was like, he goes, I'll let you get some sleep and I'll ring you later on. I didn't fucking wake up until 20 to 2 in the afternoon. I was like, fuck me. And then I've just been suffering with like a really bad like cold.
Yeah.
And like, and then now for some fucking reason I've got a stomach bug. I don't know where I've got it from because I haven't fucking been out, but you know. Great.
Just come through the window or something.
It's just like, I am going to blame that actually. My mum told me to open my windows the other night.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. It coming through the window, Mum. I'm scared.
Yeah, he's still feeling pretty rough then.
Yeah, like I've put a hot water bottle on my stomach and I've had like a sweet drink. It kind of helped it a little bit, but it wasn't. Oh, I've not had massive. It's just that was just to take my tablets with, but it seems to have like eased. So I'm hoping I'll be able to sleep better because I know like my congestedness and my headache and my cold and that is like more of a sniffle and a cough now, so I can deal with that.
Yeah, it's horrible when you're fully congested and you can't breathe no matter what.
Oh, it's even worse for me because I've got that spherocytosis, so it's just like, cold. It's just like, you want to breathe, well, you can't anyway, so you're not allowed to.
just you have to grow some gills.
Oh god. Have I got a mark on my screen or is that the webcam? Oh no! What are you?
I'm trying to look and see if it's on my end as well. I can see something, but I don't know whether it's just my monitor. Sort of where your nose was, or where your eye is. Yeah, stuff on your nose, and then it's on your eye. Yeah, there's like a blotch. Where's your camera?
No, I need to see if it's there on the other fucking. Because it better not be my screen. Hang on. We're about to drop in quality.
Might be a camera, because if I can see it.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
If you can see it. Duh. No, it's gonna be my screen. What?
Yeah, I've got like it looks like a smudge or something.
Maybe it's the. Hang on.
Just make sure it's not on my monitor.
Ooh, we're moving.
Oh, there is definitely like a little blob or something.
Yeah, look.
Do you mind if I like show the stream?
No.
There you go. There's like a blob there. I don't know if you can see the cursor. Yeah.
What's it doing?
It's a spot. You need to squeeze it.
Hang on then.
I'd laugh if that fixed it. No, it's
No,
still
it's
there.
not.
What is that?
What are you?
Oh, you gotta take it back.
No, I got it for free, so I can't complain.
Oh, okay.
But at least I know it's at least. Oh, I'm so glad you didn't.
Do you need to show your knickers?
So the shorts that I'm wearing, Thankfully, I've got thick thighs, so they have saved my life. Because if I didn't, you would have been able to see me gooch.
No. Thankfully, I had you on the other monitor, so it would have just been me.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, they aren't the best, covering shorts.
Yeah, no gooch stream for today, I'm afraid, people.
I really hope. Oh, wait, was I? Oh, no, because I was in safe position before. I'm sure Freddie would have said something if I was on the Furcation server and had me gash out.
Your flaps out, yeah.
I know that when I was sat on webcam to him, obviously because I don't care, because it's just him, he was just like, I was going to see your fanny. And I went, can you not?
Like a fucking 2-year-old. It's like a little 2-year-old.
I was like, piss off.
That's like if he was like, out the short leg and you're just like, I can see your willy.
I can see your willy.
To be fair, I still find the word willy absolutely hilarious.
Oh, I do, and I love it when fucking Rex says it, because it's so funny.
Is that your willy?
He's like, willy. Oh, I love it.
Reminds me of when WoW Classic first came out and I set up a guild with Pogo and a few other people, like Aconite and his partner, and Strange was there as well. And we had this weird banter, like when we did our first dungeon, where it was just like, "Oh, are you gonna get your willy out?" And then just like everyone's just all going, "Oh, we're gonna get our willies out. Are you gonna show us your willy?" Then it got to the point where he said to Pogo, "We're like, oh, are you gonna get your willy out?"
I thought you couldn't have hot liquids in those.
What?
The glass that Arceus has, she's got the same glass as me.
Yeah.
And, like, she's put a cappuccino in it, and I'm just like, I swear it says do not put hot liquids in.
Maybe it's an iced coffee?
I don't think so, because she's using an actual coffee machine, and as far as I'm aware, they only do hot, right?
I don't know. Not a clue. Oh, I've got some bad news. I might have broken Rusty's glass. You know, the one with Wibble on it.
No.
Yeah, it fell off the draining board into the sink and it went. No. There's the one that Sonna drew. So I've still got 9.
Oh, it's okay. They put it into a different cup first, so they might have waited for it to cool down a bit.
So that sounds like did they go for like a lukewarm tea or something?
I have no fucking clue. Yo, don't remove it.
It's not my cup of tea.
Funny that. Funny.
Oh, proper funny, isn't it? Like
doing a raffle. Ooh, to enter, please follow and retweet this post and comment a ref. That's the only thing that pisses me off. I don't want to comment a ref. It's boring.
I've got one like readily available on my phone, so I can just send.
Oh, I have, but it means scrolling, and I'm a lazy bastard.
I like the one that Bushi did recently, which I thought was a really nice idea. So it was like, enter a raffle, but instead of commenting your own ref sheet, tag a friend.
Yeah, I commented Rex's one.
I did Jay, because he wasn't very well recently. And he hung out with me one morning when I was feeling particularly like depressed. And it was really sweet, so I put him down for the raffle as a way of saying thanks. I'll probably draw him some gift art at some point as well, just like extra thanks. Don't tell him I said that, Tess, because I know he's in the same group chat as me and Jay, so don't snitch on me.
No, I won't, don't you worry. Oh no, Tay tested positive for COVID.
Who did?
My fursuit maker.
Oh.
I don't understand how. She doesn't go anywhere.
Could just been like, does she still like go to the shops for food and stuff? Or?
I think so, yeah.
Because it still happened there.
Stuff as well. I was like, oh no, Tay, please be okay. Also, I'm making Ash a collar for their new suit.
Oh.
They were like, how much would a collar cost? I was just like, if you can just cover the cost of the buckles, we good. And they were like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah.
Aww, Ash is lovely.
They sent me a picture of
I'm so happy for her as well, for like
I am
winning
too.
that
She
suit.
fucking deserves it.
Yeah.
She really fucking does.
Well, I do feel for them because they're really struggling. So it's nice to sort of to be able to sort of give them something to look forward to.
Exactly. She's got like a lovely suit to look forward to, and trust me, it looks fucking beautiful. Yeah. Have you seen it?
No, I've not.
Oh, it's so pretty. Like they sent me a whip picture, and they were like, "This is the only one that I'm getting." And she was like, "The rest of it's got to be kept secret." She was like, "But I fucking love her already," and I was just like, "Mate, she's beautiful."
Aww.
She's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to see what it's like finished. Obviously, I won't spoil the surprise for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's gonna be worth the wait. Put it that way.
I can't wait.
She definitely deserves it. I can't wait to see. They better do an unboxing because I want to see. I want to see like what they react with. I need to get a new silica brush for my fursuit as well. Why would you want a charm of a garlic clove? I mean, fair enough. Okay. I'm literally just scrolling through Ash's timeline. I just spotted it and I was like, oh my god.
I mean, you're asking the same question as the person that made Rusty a giant plushy toothbrush.
I mean, that is pretty wicked though. That is fucking awesome. I still to this day don't know what plushie prop I want for Casper. I'm not sure. I wanted an orange, but I don't know whether
you should get a plushie, is it a Calypso? The ice lolly. The orange ice lolly. That comes in a tube. You should get like a plushie version of like something like that. Because it's orange, but it's got like... it's got like orange colours on it, and you could do like stripes or something.
I need to make her fursuit spray again as well. Her orange scented one, or I might actually go for pumpkin spice.
I've got a orange body mist that I spray into my alcohol cleaning solution.
I need to make some more, but isopropyl alcohol is so expensive at the minute.
Is it? Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Because of COVID, like, hang on, I'll type it in. I mean, Amazon.
I'm quite lucky because I bought some before it all kicked off and I barely used it, so we've still got quite a bit.
No, it's going down again now. Alright, it's not too bad
good.
now. So between £5 and £11 now, so that's normal.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that initial spike though. Like, yeah, that makes sense because people were after like all sorts of cleaning solutions and stuff.
Yeah, and isopropyl is literally like, hi, you're dead.
Yeah, yeah. Isopropyl's just. I mean, that's why it's good for fursuits because it just murders any sort of bacteria. It's good for cons when like obviously you don't have like a washing machine and stuff that you can stick your stuff into.
Oh my god. Anyone want to trade, please? Post examples. Here's my price sheet for some examples. See, I would, but I don't know.
Is that an art trade, is it?
Yeah. I want to do art trades with so many people.
I want to do collabs.
That would be cool.
Keep me to more like art collabs with people. I want to do one with Fizzy J at some point. It's just getting him when he's available. Is the hard part.
I've got no art available.
But I also don't want to like pressure him into anything as well.
I've nearly finished the card captor-esque shoes as well.
Oh.
They're so cute. Like all of the trim and everything comes the other day before I got sick, and I was like, I'll work on those. And yeah, no, that didn't happen. So I finished what I can today because obviously I'm still feeling drained. So like trying to
that's
work
understandable. Yeah.
But I managed to finish one ready for the rubber soles, and oh my god, they literally scream card captor Sakura.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's the little wings on the side of the shoe. That's just like grade A like magical girl.
I
Especially
know.
character.
I love the magic girl vibes.
Yeah. You could be a magical girl too. Poses.
Oh,
It's all about posing.
I really want to get them there before Valentine's Day, so they can do a nice shoot with them, because that'd be cute.
With some cherry blossoms in the background.
What is that? What is that? What is... No. No. No.
What?
Okay? No, if this... I'm scared. I'm already scared of spiders, right? But when it looks something like that, it's unnatural and it shouldn't happen. No, never, no.
What have you got?
Whatever you do not Google pelican spider.
I'll leave that up to my viewers. They can do that on their own discretion. I mean, I'm curious now. I'm gonna have to have a look. But I'm not showing the stream just in case there's any arachnophobes in the chat. Was it pelican spider?
Pelican spider. No.
Ooh, what is that?
It's fucking horrible, is what it is, and no. Why does it exist?
I mean, am I weird? Because I think it's kind of cute.
No.
I think because it's a bit weird looking, I kind of like it.
I hate it. I hate it.
I mean, it's on someone that likes like the I like Sphinx cats that people usually generally find quite weird looking.
Yeah, Sphinx cats are cute.
Yeah.
Look, this thing is not. Like, it is. It doesn't. No. It's. It's just.
I'm sure Rusty would agree with you. Let's say that Rusty's interesting. Although she's scared of spiders, she's like slightly interested in them as well.
Shall I send her a picture of a pelican spider?
Maybe not send it to her, but you can always message her and go, "Oh, you should look up a pelican spider." She's probably already seen one.
Yeah. Google pelican spider and thank me later. I have seen this. Now you shall.
Yeah. I know the worst. The thing that I saw that even someone who's not an arachnophobe, I was like kind of freaked out by was the Australian huntsman spiders.
Nasty. Why does that thing exist?
Yeah, the Australian huntsman spiders. They're fucking massive.
Yeah,
and
they're big.
They can bite hard as well.
They bite really fucking hard.
And like I've heard stories of like people like just casually waking up with one on like their lap. I'm sure Blue's probably got a huntsman spider story.
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
I think Blue's actually said like he's less scared of spiders here because they don't kill him.
Well, yeah, I think that's.
Whereas like spiders in Australia are just like on another level. I dread to think.
Yeah.
I think I've spoken to people that flat out refuse to go to Australia because there's like loads of like deadly bugs
I
and
want to
stuff
go
there.
to Australia.
Doesn't bother me.
The spiders scare me, yes.
Yeah.
But I still want to go to Australia.
It puts me off going to Australia more is the long journey. Like Jesus. You lose a day just travelling.
12 hours, I think, on a flight. Oh, thanks, PayPal. You're a bit late. Twat.
Did you manage to sort that adopt in the end as well?
Oh, the one for Inari. Yeah, I did in the end. Do you know what? He nearly got banned as well. It was so funny.
Oh, what? What from?
Oh, so I get a message off one of the people in the chat that have already got a Helkin.
Okay.
And they were like, they goes, I just want to let you know, like, Inari keeps asking me to get art of mine and his, it keeps mentioning the word breed and all this slot. And she was like, I know that there's no problems with NSFW art, but I really don't feel comfortable with this, blah, 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 as I want my Helkins to stay innocent and all this slot. And I was like, no, that's fine, that's fair enough. Do you want me to talk to him and all this? And they were like, I've told him no. But if anything else comes from it, I'll let you know. So he was very close to being talked to and given a warning within the first 10 minutes of him being in chat, practically. I don't take harassment very lightly.
No, well, rightfully so. Oh god.
So you remember?
I was gonna say, did anything ever come of that in the end?
Yeah, they won't do anything about it, even though there's more than one person suffering from the same thing. But because it wasn't directly in chat, apparently they can't do anything about it.
Okay.
I'm like,
okay, so.
Okay.
Okay. So if you attend a meet and they end up being really creepy, then it'll.
Yeah, well, I suppose then it'd be a different matter.
Yeah.
But the way I saw it was well, he's harassing me. He's not going to exactly do it in the chat, is he?
Well, yeah. But it's was it a result of you being in that chat? Is the question, I suppose.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah, because we've only got the London Furs as a
common chat group.
As a common, and it was only after I posted my fursuit that you seemed interested to message me.
Yeah, I know it's hard for some people to deal with stuff like that, but it should never be taken lightly,
No, it shouldn't.
Or it should at least be a message just to say, look, you're harassing.
Especially after, because I sent them screenshots of the conversation, because when I was going on about it, it was me, Blue Patch, and White, Fixie Fox.
Yeah.
Do you know the white suit one?
Yeah.
That we'd had a run-in with them. And they were like, oh yeah, send us screenshots, we'll investigate it and all this lot. So in the screenshots, there are clear implications of me warning him about 4 times to leave me alone. But apparently that's not enough.
Oh, okay.
And even when he was warned by Blue Patch, which are also in the screenshots that they sent me, not enough. They can't do anything, they won't do anything.
Yeah, it'll all be great when something does happen and there's more of a consequence, yeah.
Exactly. What happens, I doubt it, because I can't see them doing that. I think they're just overly friendly.
Yeah.
But what happens if they corner me at the meet or something, or do something else? Do you know what I mean?
It's kind of you want to stop it before it escalates, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's not going to happen because I'm always around a group of people anyway.
Not everyone's
and
that
I
fortunate.
don't go off with randos.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I'm not stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell someone how to police a chat, but it's not how I personally handle a situation like that.
Exactly.
I'd at least talk to them and just say, look, we've had a message from someone in our group chat. Apparently, you've been messaging them and you're sort of being quite pushy with them. We just want to warn you that you need to kind of back off a little bit because you're making them uncomfortable and it's putting them off talking in our chat. And that's not what we want,
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I'd feel if someone messaged me about something like that.
Oh, I had to deal with something similar in the Furcation chat earlier, actually.
Yeah.
So, obviously I won't mention names.
I was going to say, just be careful about what you're disclosing, yeah.
Yeah. So, someone was having an issue with somebody else in the chat where they kept messaging them and they became obsessed with them. They started calling them best friends and this lot after literally saying that I've seen your TikTok videos and they're sick or whatever. So that person took the safest route to just go, look, I'm sorry, literally just to block them and get rid of it completely after feeling uncomfortable. That's just the way that they decided to operate. It just eradicated any drama instantly. Also, they thought. Because then they came into the chat, the voice chat when they were in, and tried getting people to ask why he'd blocked them and all this. And then it got worse, and then he started making TikToks calling him out about it. So, he's now been removed from the Furcation server because he's just been
too much,
way too much for somebody. And it takes one person to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It does. It takes one person to feel uncomfortable, and it's just okay, yeah, you might not think it's that bad, but it is.
Yeah. because it puts them off from going into any other chats. It doesn't just affect that chat; it affects their sort of
mental well-being.
Their mental well-being and their desire to be involved with that community.
And it was like the TikTok that they made, they tagged them in it as well to try and get a response, and I was just like, yeah, no. And Author didn't like it and was like, no, I'm dealing with this now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, the last thing I want is to like have someone feel uncomfortable in like a community that you're trying to sort of encourage people to be a part of.
You don't want that.
Right.
Apparently, he was banned for a different reason, though. As well, not just a different reason, but he's banned for another reason as well. All Author would disclose was there's sensitive information that was brought forward.
Fair enough.
So I don't know what that was about.
Nah.
What you on about?
You alright?
Rusty, get the fuck out.
What's she up to?
They went, what a cutie. I was just like, nah, get the fuck out.
What, you?
No, the blooming pelican spider.
Oh, okay.
GTFO, you bitch. Cute my ass.
I mean, I think me and Rusty are very alike. We find weird things cute.
It shouldn't exist.
I mean, I've seen more horrendous things than a pelican spider.
I said it shouldn't exist. I'm scared.
I'm doing frightened.
I mean, like, the little jumping spider, like, that's cute.
Oh, I love jumping spiders.
The little jumping spiders are cute. And no. Okay? No.
But look at the big little beak that he's got.
It's not a beak. They're
It's
fucking...
It's a little booper.
No, it's not.
Well, I will anthropomorphise it until like I can make it sound like the most adorable thing this creature on this.
Don't you dare anthropomorphise? No. No. Sorry, spider. That's probably like just existing. Well, it is just existing. But sorry, spider, for existing. But you are not
To
cute.
be fair, you're probably gonna disagree with me on this. Maybe not. Tarantulas. Like tarantulas are like
cute.
They're like big fuzzy dogs of the spider world, essentially.
I've held a tarantula, and it's honestly so different than a house spider. Like house spiders freak me the fuck out. Like,
yeah, they move. Yeah, like
it's the way they move.
Yeah.
They fucking sat on a wall. You look at them, and they're like, "Yeah, go on then." And then you look away and look back again, and they're even closer. And you're like, "No, I don't think so. Fuck off."
Or like you leave a house spider somewhere, you look back and they're gone. You're just like, where did you
go?
Oh,
that is the worst.
How do you move that quickly? How are you that aware of like my presence?
Discord, I really wish you would stop that.
What's that? What's up?
Oh, it's alright. Discord like froze for a minute, and I was like, stop it. Just fucking stop.
Sounds like mine usually. Oh yeah, my Discord only seems to freak out whenever I tab out and start like browsing the internet on the PC. It's just like, no, you can't do that.
It's like
Well, I can stream and chat,
Oh god, yeah. I love like chilling and chatting on stream and stuff though. No.
Yeah, I like that we've got this set up for doing that. It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I have such a phobia of spiders, like to the point of panic nightmares and cold sweat. I just had hearing Flux through the wall giving me crazy anxiety, but I'm trying to ignore it. But they're Rusty. So pretty, and I can totally respect them. No.
Is that Rusty? She is terrible for that. Like, she'll have horrendous nightmares about spiders, and like, I'll be like cuddling her, and she'll be like, in the night, and like she won't even be aware that she's doing it. Like, she's still fast asleep when she does it.
I feel the nightmares though.
Yeah, Rusty, bless her, she's so jumpy. Like even like during the day and stuff. Like I can't have my phone on vibrate. That's how bad it gets.
Oh, I've had night terrors of spiders. That's not fun. That is not fun. You know, you just lay there and you just open your eyes and there's this spider crawling up the bed. Yeah, no, it's not. It's no.
So I don't really get nightmares like that. Mine always seem to be like.
I get night terrors a lot.
My nightmares seem to involve like getting lost somewhere, like or being late to something. That I
oh wow,
yeah,
lucky bastard.
yeah. But that's not lucky for me because it's like that is like the worst situation for me.
I had one recently that like I literally cannot eradicate from my mind. It's that bad.
Yeah.
It was quite vivid. I had a dream, like a nightmare that Tico had been in a horrific accident.
Oh my god.
And she was horrifically scarred and burnt, and they had to amputate her legs.
Oh my god.
That image of her like that in my I just can't get rid of it. I just cannot. Like that was horrific. I mean, like when she'd had it and like she'd started recovering everything, like it was lovely, and I was just like, obviously I never saw my sister in any different light. I never would.
No.
But like it was just scary to see her like that. Not that I was scared of her.
No, it was
but,
just
like,
it was just the visual was a bit more shocking than you were sort of prepared
exactly.
for.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was horrible. Ooh.
It's
Sorry.
Kind of like you know, we had the neighbours' cats visiting before they moved.
Yeah.
I had a dream, and it was actually literally the weekend that they moved. I had a dream that like we were being chased by something, like me and the two cats were being chased by something, and like I managed to like. It was like sort of like Predator type sort of thing that was chasing after us. You know, like Predator from the film.
Yeah.
And it was a proper like it was hunting us kind of thing. It wasn't just like it wasn't just like seek and destroy. It was like trying to kill us to survive essentially.
No.
And like we gave it a good run for its money, and then I think I managed to kill it by burning its body or something like that.
Oh my god.
But like even after I'd managed to beat this thing, the cats were like so exhausted and just from the sheer panic were like literally dying. Like they were just like shutting down essentially, and that image was just horrendous. And it just happened to be the same weekend that they were moving away, and I didn't even know that at the time. Like it was just, you know, they were there the day before, and then the night that I had that dream, the morning I woke up, that I hadn't seen them again for like quite a few days, and then eventually I saw the sign outside the house that said to let, and I was just like, was that some weird premonition or something?
Maybe.
So I've literally had a dream where they've died, and sort of being separated from them kind of feels like they've died. You know, it's that same
That's
sort
weird.
of. Yeah, it was weird. I've had like a little bit of sleep paralysis before as well, where like it felt like I was awake, but I couldn't speak or move.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Like, I felt like I wasn't in my body. Like I felt like my body was like, I'm gonna draw it. Like my body was here, like physically, but I felt like I was like here, like just floating above my own body. Like my consciousness was floating above my body. It was really weird. And like I wanted to like,
that is odd.
I wanted to get Rusty's attention to tell her about it, but I couldn't speak. So it was kind of like my mind was awake, but my body wasn't. It was
I hate that.
It was exciting and interesting, but it was really weird. Like I wasn't scared, but I was just like, this feels weird, really weird.
Ugh. Dreams are weird.
Mm.
I've had like a sleep paralysis one before, and no, I didn't like. I explained it to my friend that they were like, "Oh, you were watching Van Helsing, like the anime Van Helsing." And I went,
Yeah.
"What?" Well, like, yeah, you saw the main protagonist in Van Helsing. And I was like, I've never heard or seen that anime ever.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his name is, but the one with the red hat.
Red hat.
He's got a red hat. I think he's got black glasses. He smokes. He's got sharp teeth.
I don't really know it.
I can't remember his name, but basically he was in like a red cloak or whatever at the end of my bed,
Ooh, okay.
And when I described this thing to my friend, they went, "Oh, you've been watching too much anime." And I went, "I have never seen an anime with anything like that in it."
Yeah.
And then they told me about it, and I googled it, and I went, "This is what I saw, but I have never seen this anime in my life."
That's weird. So you just like invented this character that kind of already existed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, no thanks, sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Let's not. I was like, the only time I'd be interested in that happening is sleep paralysis, like just magically like mustered up Leo at the end of my bed. Then I'd be, fuck me, if Leo was my sleep paralysis demon, I'd be ready.
We're talking Leo from Vix.
Well, both, to be fair. I wouldn't complain. Although seeing a blooming hellhound at the bottom of my bed probably would scare me a teensy bit. I'd be like, until I realised who it was, and I'd be like, "Oh, hello."
Scared but mildly aroused. That's how I'd be.
Oh my god. So, you remember the fursuit I fell in love with months ago?
Yeah.
It goes up for auction on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or the 21st, one of the two. And they released pictures. You're so precious.
Oh, one sec, let me move that across to the other screen. That's adorable. That's like... That's adorable.
It's not focusing for some reason.
I can see it though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's
fucking
adorable.
cute. I was trying to get it to focus, but it was just...
It's not having it.
It's not having it at all. Fucking my other camera's better than this shit. Come on. No, it really doesn't like phones. But yeah, it's stinking adorable, and then that's like the reference sheet.
Oh, so are they putting it up for adoption or something? Or?
It's a fursuit auction, and I'm gutted because I swear, and I shit you not, if I had the money, it would be mine. I just need a millionaire to be like, here, have the money, and I'm like, sick.
Need to get into Hazard's gig, essentially.
Yeah, I need to make a decent amount of cash in the next 24 hours. Funny. I was like, so precious. Yeah, it goes up tomorrow morning, I think.
Bless. So is that an original character, or like is that their persona that they're essentially getting rid of, or is that like a suit they've made to sell?
It's a pre-made auction.
Yeah.
So, and they're a Korean maker as well, which like I've not heard of them before, and then I found them on Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, like their stuff is really good.
Yeah. I think I remember you showing us the Instagram stuff. I think that was on stream as well.
Really? Yeah, maybe. It's just cute as fuck, and I was like, okay, I need this. Where can I get it? And then like their prices are just a bit too much, so I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to afford it. Oh, Didi's having a drink of water.
Oh.
Bastard. Kept me awake last night.
Lam 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 lam.
Yeah. I love it when she does the lam lam. God, you're thirsty today.
I was watching cat videos today, because that's what my life's come to now. That's my that's my source of dopamine.
Mine is bird videos.
I was watching a video talking about how when people can't afford to get their cats sort of spayed and neutered, and they end up just having to like let their cats breed, and then just leaving a sign outside the house that says free kittens. I'm just talking about how that's not a good sign, really. I'm just talking about like the options that you have if you can't afford to spay your own pets, essentially. All the procedures you should have in place if you are gonna put cats up for adoption.
Also, I've kind of realised, and it's kind of upset me a bit. So, the voice actor of Legacy, like the American one, has a TikTok.
Oh.
And I stumbled across it and commented, I can't picture you in any other situation than a wolf in a high school, right? And like, instead of like commenting like a laughing face or something, they literally just bluntly said acting, and I was like, wow, you're a bit of a cock. Like, take a joke, mate.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
He's no Ben Diskin, that's for sure.
I was just like, I don't want Lego She to be a dickhead. He's supposed to be a soft boy. You is not a soft boy.
So I usually watch it in. I usually watch it.
Yeah,
I usually watch in Japanese anyway, so I don't associate the English voice actor with him. But yeah.
And it just annoys me when people are like that. It's just like, yeah, okay, we get it. It's acting. Calm down. I'm not fucking retarded.
Yeah.
You know, I don't actually think you're a fucking wolf.
It was a joke, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a joke, like your attitude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't like privileged arseholes.
He's no Ben Diskin, that's for sure, because like he's been brilliant for like just completely embracing like the culture that's, or the community that's kind of adopted like the likes of Agretsuko and Beastars.
Oh, I love Agretsuko.
Like Ben Diskin, like the fact that like he's commissioned his own Haida fursuit and has turned up at Anthrocon.
Oh,
like, just
God,
doing
yeah.
the Haida voice.
Beautiful.
It's funny, really, because again, I watch Agretsuko in Japanese, but I still associate Ben Diskin as being Haida, even though like I don't actually hear his voice in action.
I think it's because I don't know. He's just.
I think it's just because he embraces that character and that like.
Yeah.
And just because he's so like cool with like the furry stuff.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh yeah, you know how I was gonna make like some of those? Do you remember my mushroom doll I made, which was really cute? Yeah, I'm not making any more. Mine was an absolute bastard to make.
Oh god, I bet. It's fair when you make something that like that weird. I imagine it is a bit difficult to make.
It was a bit, because I was gonna be like, I was like, oh, I might make like maybe one or two more for a couple of friends, but then I was like, no. Oh my god, I fucking made a TikTok. I think it was yesterday, and I was sick, and I was like lay in bed, absolutely out of it, and a thought crossed my head. Like, you know I can't remember who it's by now. There's a song called Down with the Sickness. You've probably heard of it.
That's Disturbed.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And I was like, oh, it'd be funny if like I did a TikTok with that song and just vibing to it with a cold flannon on my head because I'm fucking sick.
Yeah.
I filmed it and I put it on TikTok.
Oh no. That reminds me of when COVID first kicked off and there was someone that did like a Down with the Sickness joke.
And then obviously the caption on the video is not Corona, at least.
Yeah.
What is this one? Oh, it's me going, I'm sick as fuck, sorry if I've been shit with content lately. My content just got shit for like literally 5 videos of crap. Because I did like a really pretty video of me and my new cup that I got through the post like New Year's.
Okay.
It's so cute. It's a Starbucks cup. Oh. You know, like the one I've got a paw print one.
Oh yeah.
Well, I found one that in a similar style, but it's got a Christmas tree in the middle.
Yeah.
And then the lid is like pastel pink with a little pastel pink deer on it with like presents on it. And then it's got like pink Christmas trees and then a sparkly glitter handle. It's really fucking adorable.
That sounds glamorous.
It was very expensive.
Oh, I bet.
I think 32 quid.
It's not bad.
So they've gone up in price. They're about 46 now.
I mean, I'll be honest, 32 is more than I'd pay for a book.
I mean, I wanted it, and my friend said, well, are you still open for headshots? And I was like, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cute.
So they went, I'll buy you it, and you draw me art. And I was like, that sounds like a perfect deal.
That's a good deal to me.
So we traded, and I was like, I'm happy. Oh my god, that's amazing.
I haven't really done art like that in a while, where like I've taken like it kind of goes towards something, so I can just do it immediately. It's been a while since I've taken like a commission to do that. I think I did it once for a Mount meet where I couldn't necessarily afford like food. I was planning to just make my own food and bring it with me, and then someone paid for a badge commission. I was just like, oh, I'll put that towards dinner then.
Yeah. I like it when that happens, because you're like, oh, I don't have any fucking money for food.
Yeah, and I think it was a bad year. I think it was like just as we bought the house, so like we were really sort of out of savings and stuff.
It's a bit shitty when that
Yeah.
happens. I don't understand, but I want. I like it when people comment that, oh, there's this gorgeous moon tea set. It looks gorgeous. I don't get it, but I want it.
Yeah.
I love weird, like, cups and mugs and stuff. I swear, when I get my own house, it's just going to be full of strange things.
Yeah. Oh, so are you looking at the stream at all? Or?
No, I'm not.
I've got a Tails picture that I drew. It's really cute. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put it in the art channel on the Discord. Oops. I hope no one saw that. I do apologise.
I've done a freeze again. How beautiful.
Oh, you have, and it's on the most flat. It's on the most flattering face ever. It's just you go.
Oh, I've got
It's back now, but it did freeze.
Yeah.
It freezed when you. What's that? I'm going to show you my tits in a minute. Yeah, it froze when you were like. Oh no.
I can't see anything. Why won't it work?
Also, I nearly showed thumbnails of not safe for work things on the stream then.
Oops.
I hope no one saw that. I do apologise. Note to cut that out when I upload to YouTube. So yeah, I'm kind of falling behind on uploading my streams to YouTube. So yeah, checking the art channel on Discord when you get a chance. I drew a cute Tailsy from Sonic, and he looks adorable.
Go all the way down to the bottom. Oh my god, it's adorable.
It's adorable. So I think I'm at a good point where I'm probably gonna call it a night, to be honest. So I've done all my line art that I want to do. So I'm just going to colour all these next, which is fine. They're all flat colour, so they won't take too long. But I'm sort of running out of steam, but also I need to think about bed because I've got work tomorrow. So I'm gonna end the stream here. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll be back on Saturday to do some more Zelda. Saturday to do some more Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer.
Heck yes.
And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's helped me get to Twitch affiliate as well, because that's pretty exciting. And I did say at the start of the stream as well, at some point I'll be designing some emotes for subscribers for Twitch. So I'll probably attempt that on Sunday's stream, because I'm now going to be doing Twitch streams I'm going to be doing art streams on Twitch on Sundays instead of my initial 18 plus streams on Picato, because I figured it's probably better to start focusing more on Twitch now that I'm trying to build up an affiliate thing. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will bid you good night. Say goodbye, Casper.
Bye bye.
Bye.